After terrifying visions, Rhea, an astronaut, regains consciousness aboard a station located on a remote planet. The voice assistant announces a system failure and the need to reboot the power supply. Finding a flashlight, Rhea begins to explore the surroundings. During her search, she discovers blood traces and the bodies of deceased people. From one of the corpses, she retrieves a knife and continues on. After rebooting the system and restoring power, she steps outside where she notices a body bag next to the entrance, its spacesuit shattered. A substance resembling ash falls from the sky. Walking a bit further, she spots a silhouette mimicking her every move. Taking a careless step, Rhea nearly falls into a chasm. Looking up, she witnesses a strange phenomenon in the sky, its nature beyond her comprehension. Then, she sees something resembling a falling star. At that moment, her oxygen system begins to fail, and she sprints back, managing to close the door just in time. Rhea experiences a flashback, transporting her back to the past. It turns out the deceased were members of her own team. Her space mission colleagues included Clark, Captain Audhey, Davis, Kevin, her boyfriend, and Brian, who was in orbit at the time. Over dinner, they lightheartedly discussed the future, what speech to deliver upon landing on the new planet, who would say the first words, and how to announce that the atmosphere was breathable. The team chose Rhea to make the announcement. She was the one who was supposed to deliver the speech. As she wanders the deck, Rhea finds a medical kit, discovers a bandage inside, and places it on her neck. After taking a shower, she explores the rooms and enters Kevin's cabin, where she finds a journal on the table. Upon opening it and sees herself in the middle of some kind of investigation. Just then, a signal indicates movement in the outer airlock.
Brian Carlisle. Look, I'm 7. We're on the same crew. I'm orbital monitoring.
Brian?
That's right, Brian.
When Rhea opens it, she attacks the figure, but it turns out to be Brian. He received her SOS and a message stating that Clark had gone mad and attacked the crew. Rhea explains to Brian that she doesn't remember anything, that it all happened before she woke up. Brian doesn't understand what she's talking about, and Rhea shows him Kevin's corpse. Brian asks what details she can recall. She says only fragments and images of a woman who attacked. Brian assumes it was Clark and asks if she has any idea where the woman might be. Rhea says that when she woke up, no one was there. Brian wonders if anything else comes to mind, but Rhea replies that she doesn't understand what's happening. She doesn't know where she is or who she is.
I don't know where I am. I don't know who I am.
Wait here.
Brian uses the medbot to scan Rhea. He asks if her temperature spiked suddenly. She says yes, and that she used a patch from the medical kit. The medbot detects a minor brain swelling, likely caused by trauma. Rhea asks if she's going to remember everything. Brian replies that he doesn't know. He tells her to get some rest, but she's still haunted by the vision. Rhea carries out the bodies of the fallen team members. She's worried about where Clark is, but Brian is certain her oxygen is almost gone. Rhea wants to go look for her, but Brian insists their own supply is running low and they need to get off this planet as soon as possible. The orbital lineup is in 12 hours. She experiences another flashback.
You cool?
Yeah, I'm cool.
You don't seem cool.
I'm fine. I'm tired. I just need you to give me fucking space.
Rhea notices a pair of scissors on the floor. When she picks them up, she has a flashback, how she killed Captain Audhey with those scissors. Frightened, she runs to her cabin and uses a patch that helps her block the memories. Meanwhile, a severe storm begins. Rhea apologizes to Brian and says she is starting to remember. Because of the storm, the station suffers damage and the oxygen level becomes critically low. They try to find the breach. Armed with tools, Rhea goes to repair the damage.
A critical level.
Someone's been in here. I can hear something. I hear some noise coming through the back.
Hey, what's going on?
I need to get off comms. It's too tight.
Rhea?
After the hull breach is repaired, Rhea and Brian come to the conclusion that Clark came into contact with a pathogen, which caused her to have a psychotic break. This infection changed her. Rhea plans to deal with this in the coming days, but Brian points out that they have lost 30% of their oxygen supply and need to get out of there as soon as possible.
You are not listening to me. It is tonight or we die, okay? And we still don't even know what
The orbital lineup is in 5 hours. If they don't leave by then, they will die. Brian wants to leave Clark behind, and Rhea agrees. After the argument, Rhea reads Kevin's notes, picking up his jacket. A flood of memories is triggered. Waking up in an unknown place, she spots a drone. Then, she sees Kevin. A chasm forms between them.
Rhea, it hurts.
It turns out it was a dream. Rhea then notices the same drone and, using Medbot, retrieves a recording and learns that it was Brian who pointed out these pits to them. Davis throws a rock in there and it flies back into his spacesuit, shattering it. Something inexplicable occurs. At this moment, Brian enters. Rhea accuses him of knowing the true purpose of the mission, the planet's terraforming and concealing it. Brian, although he denies knowing about the crew's demise, admits that he had to keep the situation under control to fulfill the mission. Rhea confesses to him that she killed the crew members, Kevin and Audie, and that she doesn't know why she did it. She explains that when the effect of her patches wears off, all her memories return, and more quickly. However, Brian explicitly states that he doesn't trust her in such a state and insists that she continues to use them.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. I'm just getting ready. How long to line up?
Liner takes off in 2 hours and 39 minutes. You all patched up?
Put one 30 minutes ago.
Is that enough? You said they're getting less effective. Come on. There we go. As good as new. I'll come gate when it's time to...
Rhea realizes that it's not just Clark who is infected, everyone is. She goes looking for Brian to tell him, but instead runs into Clark. Trying to hide, Rhea discovers Brian's body. A brutal fight breaks out between her and Clark. Rhea defeats Clark. She scans her with the Medbot, but no pathogen is detected. It turns out Clark was never infected. The voice assistant announces that the orbital alignment window is now open. Rhea wraps Clark's body and heads towards the extraction point. Inside, she finds signs of a struggle, and whatever system is supposed to get her off the planet won't start. Returning back, Rhea applies several patches at once to suppress the rising memories. Then she decides to scan Brian's body, and to her horror, she finds out he died over 51 hours ago. That's impossible. She spoke to him just recently. Rhea can't understand what's happening. At that moment, the voice assistant suddenly announces,
Abnormal activity detected.
Armed, Rhea goes to investigate the source of the anomalous activity. There, she discovers not the real Brian, but an alien entity that has taken his form. The entity declares that it is the infection and that it is a part of Rhea herself. Touching her temple, the entity shows her everything, and Rhea fully recalls the true sequence of events. It turns out that the base was struck by a self-replicating biological pathogen that spread rapidly throughout the station. When all communication was lost, Brian descended from the orbital platform to find out what had happened. Conflicts began to arise among the crew. Rhea disagreed with the decision to abandon the planet. She wanted to stay. Her primary goal was to complete the mission. Rhea is conducting research when Captain Audie enters the lab. Suddenly, the virus attacks him and takes control of his body. He lunges at Rhea, and in the struggle, she has to kill him. At that moment, other crew members enter the room, shocked and confused by what's happening. But it turns out the captain is still alive. He attacks Kevin, and the virus transfers transfers to him. Infected Kevin charges at Rhea, but Clark saves her. A fierce fight breaks out between Kevin and Clark. Brian witnesses the scene. Rhea begs him to help, but Kevin notices Brian and kills him. Clark heads to the landing module while Rhea stays behind. Armed and alert, she hears Kevin's voice. The virus tries to deceive her, pretending to be him and claiming everything is fine. Rhea doesn't fall for it. She stabs Kevin with a knife. The virus then infects her. Suddenly, the virus starts speaking to Rhea. It assures her that being part of their existence is the greatest privilege, but Rhea refuses. She removes the patches from her neck and scans herself using the medbot. The medbot detects the virus in her brain. It successfully extracts the virus, which then transfers into Brian's nearby body. Rhea emerges victorious, and the entire station is engulfed in flames. She manages to power up the landing module and heads to the orbital station, remembering her team. But upon arrival, she discovers that the entire station is overrun with extraterrestrial viruses.